Mighty Shalom, brothers and sisters. Happy Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom to my Battle Axe family, to brothers and sisters in class, to brothers and sisters that are tuning in online from around the four corners of the earth. Mighty Shalom. Shabbat Shalom to my brothers and sisters today. Giving honor to the Most High God on this glorious Shabbat. We pray that the Most High God gives us fullness of learning today, that we get more understanding of His law, statutes, and commandments on this great Sabbath day. We pray that brothers and sisters are open heart and open ears to receive the message that the Most High God is providing for the children of Israel today. Pray that the Lord speak through us, man, that we may edify the nation with a great, glorious Shabbat class. Today's class will be that get back is planned prophecy. That get back is planned prophecy. Coming back from a great Feast of Tabernacles, coming through the memorial of blowing the trumpets, a great atonement. It's time that we get back into what regular scheduled program, and like I said, it's time for us to make that transition from coming back out of the wilderness to coming back into what? Getting back to our laws, statutes, and commandments on a daily basis. Not that we didn't keep laws, statutes, and commandments in the wilderness, but we had a great time. Every time we come off a feast, you always want to get home and grounded back onto what we are doing, right? We always say when we are having a feast day that you always understand what exactly we are feasting for, why we are doing these things. And this is the spirit that brothers and sisters got to have coming out of the tabernacle, right? Making sure that we are back into the fold of what we are, and guess what? Being better than what we were before Memorial blowing the trumpet. Being a better man or woman before the Day of Atonement, right? And the tabernacle, which is coming out of the wilderness, man. So we pray that brothers and sisters are ready to receive this class. With that being said, let's get to the first precept, Deuteronomy chapter 8. Coming back from the wilderness, man. We always got to look at these things, man. The scriptures give us, what do the scriptures say, man? Matter of fact, let's get Romans right quick, man, before we go there. Shalaka family. Let's go to Romans 15 real quick before we get there. We always have to understand why the scriptures have us doing what we are doing, why we are going into feast days, why these things are occurring. Why? Because the scriptures give us understanding. Romans 15:4.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 15 and verse 4.
Bring it out.
For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
The things that were written aforetime. This is a heavy precept that we always open up with, but it makes a lot of sense within a lot of classes. Because we always go back and look at prophecy. Prophecy comes from the old and shows its face in the new, right? Or in the present. So we want to understand that the things that are written aforetime, the prophecies that were written in this Bible, these things were written for our learning, man. Right? The book of Deuteronomy was not written for us to throw away because, we're in the New Testament and we're in the New Covenant. No, that's not true. Right? That's the old letter. They don't understand this. Right? You still have the book of Deuteronomy, Leviticus, Exodus. You still have the Torah and the Tanakh as your guider, man. Right? Read this again.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 15 and verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
These things are written for our learning. What we're about to go into, some of the things we're about to go into, it's written for our learning to learn how to come off Feast of Tabernacles, right? How to transition back into what? Our daily lives that we are living, man, right? Because I'm going to tell you, that tabernacle, man, I don't know about y'all, man. But it's like coming back to this wicked kingdom, man. After having such a great time out there in the wilderness, no cares in the world, phone off, who cares? Brother, sister trying to get at you, bro trying to call you whatever, right? To now coming back into this world, you got to make sure that you are ready for this, man. This is a heavy transition that you must make. Think about it. Things that are written before time are written for our learning. Coming into the wilderness and coming out of the wilderness. What was happening a lot of times when we came up out of the wilderness? Murmuring, and what did that eventually end up being? And what else for some people? Death, man. Coming out of the wilderness, a lot of times, if you are not making a right transition, coming out of the wilderness and tabernacles, man, that can lead up to your death, man. That could be your what? Sayonara. So we want to make sure that the things are written before time, they be written for our learning to make this transition back into the world. Read.
That we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope.
That we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, man, might have hope. We got to have patience in this thing, man. Coming out of the tabernacle, one might say, man, you know what? To hell with work. I ain't never going back. Call the damn supervisor, tell him I ain't never coming back. Like old boy said, call the wife, kiss the kids, honey, I ain't never coming home. Right? That spirit will be on you from tabernacles, having such of a great time with your brothers and sisters. But guess what? The Most High God put us in what captivity. We have to go back into this captivity, man, right? But it's a lot of spirits that can be put on you from having such a great time with your brothers and sisters. So this get back that we are first going into is to get back from the Feast of Tabernacles, get back into regular scheduled program. Read on out.
Verse 4. Verse 5. Now the God of patience and consolation.
Because our God is a patient God, man. And this is another thing going into that get back, man. I got people talking to me all day. Man, well, y'all just go sit up and keep on reading the damn Bible. When y'all go do something? Man, our God is a patient God. We definitely gonna be patient because our God is patient, man. Right? We serve a patient God, man. And it's not our will, right? We know.
And consolation grant you to be like-minded, one toward another, according to Yahushua.
So we want to be like-minded, one towards another, coming out of the Feast of Tabernacles, coming from the wilderness. Read on.
That ye may be with one mind and one mouth, glorify God.
One mind and one mouth, meaning the same accord. We have the same like-mindedness mindset, right? Read.
Even the Father of our Lord Yahushua. Wherefore receive ye one another, as Christ also received us to the glory of God.
So let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 8 right now. So the things are written aforetime that were written for our learning, man. We got to see things that occurred back with our brothers, our forefathers and foresisters and foremothers coming out of the wilderness. Things that occurred around those times, man. Right? This helps you in your walk. This takes away the stumbling blocks. Things that are written aforetime takes away the stumbling blocks for you not to stumble in this kingdom today. This is what the scriptures do for us. Deuteronomy chapter 8. We'll start at verse 11.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 8 and verse 11.
Bring it out.
Beware that you forget not the Lord thy God.
It said, beware that thou forget not the Lord thy God, man, right? Don't forget the Lord thy God, because coming off a glorious Sabbath day, having a great time, one might forget what we out there doing. The reason why we went to the wilderness. The reason why we rehearsed those righteous acts. One may forget the true meaning of what this thing is about.
Why do you think it's asking for us, beware not to forget the Lord? Brother.
Because we get complacent. We get complacent. We get into the cares of the world.
One at a time, huh?
I'm saying we get complacent. We get into the cares of the world. And we kind of lose sight of our God, you know.
Complacency, yeah.
That's good. That's good. What you say?
It's something like this, you having such a good time out there, and you forget what you're good for. And you usually get caught up, slide right back into the world.
What you got?
Or people just get full of their enjoyment. Then they start to slap back with a little sparkle.
Going into what our class is, like I was saying, you're trying to transform your mind coming back home out of the tabernacle, right? thinking about once you come and guess what? You're going to be full of joy coming home. Everybody full of joy coming home. Now you looking back at what? I got to put this stuff up. Dang, I left the dishes in here. Dang, I got so many other things that's going to pull that spirit away from you when you get back there. That's why I said beware for you to forget those things, because you got so much other stuff. You done had all this good time here, now you done made it back, and here it comes. Like, damn, I got to go feed this dog. Dang, I got to go do this. And guess what? Your body being outside for a couple of days and you come back in the house, your body feels different. So don't think that it doesn't, because it does, right? And when you get back there, guess what happened? Now you got so many distractions. Now when you went home, now all the stuff that you had on you before you left, you back in that mindset and you got everything that you just had, just did. That's why I say beware that these things will get to you, man. Right? Go ahead,
Because and everything that brother said, they were spot on as well too, right?
That's right.
You know, the complacency that you'll get, right? Like I said, the joy of having so much fun out there, right? You'll come back into the world and you think it's still all fun and joy and games. Be sideswiped by what? Sin. That'll knock you out this truth, man. Right? What you said, Eagle?
You get like overfull, you make you get slow.
Another thing, like you said, that's a great point. Because all these things, man, like we always say, I say this all the time, it will become a trickle-down effect, right? It'll start here and here. That's just like war. When you go into war, you don't just automatically go into war. What do? Huh? It's a plan, but it's like a what? Crescendo. You know what music crescendo is? I know if you're playing that. Crescendo is like, it comes from, it builds up, reaches to the climax, right? Things will happen in this way and reach a climax to where you'll fall out this truth because you don't come back in the right spirit, or you don't have your mindset on what you have to when you get back is ready, right? Then we gotta understand that the get back is prophecy, right? That's why I'm like, look, man, everybody ain't gonna go to the tabernacle. They have a good time out there. They come back, they ain't in the right spirit. They ain't never been in the right spirit from the jump. Now they come out here and they totally out of line, man. You got to be in the right spirit before you do these feast days, and definitely coming out of them, man. Let's read Deuteronomy 8 and 11 again.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 8 and verse 11. Beware that thou forget not the Lord thy God, in not keeping his commandments.
And what?
In not keeping his commandments.
And not keeping his commandments, read.
And his judgments. And his statutes, which I command thee this day.
Let's get a precept. Let's go to Sirach 11, man. 25. All praise 11 to 25. You know, just jumping out with precepts, man, that brothers and sisters should have. If not, make sure you precept these things together, man. Sirach chapter 11, verse 25.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 11 and verse 25. In the day of prosperity, there's a forgetfulness of affliction.
And that's what we don't want to have coming out of the tabernacles. You had such a great time, brothers and sisters barbecuing, enjoying each other's time, children having fun, yeah, the grown-ups having fun, right? Playing games, whatever the case may be. You don't want to have in the prosperity, a forgetfulness of what we are doing, right? Read that again.
The book of Sirach, chapter 11 and verse 25. In the day of prosperity, there is a forgetfulness of affliction.
Because I'm telling you, when we go back into that wilderness, man, we don't know if we're going to be out there playing kickball, man. Right? We don't know if we're going to have the tent up, man, to be able to play some volleyball and to get the football out there. We throwing balls and passes, man. It might be some affliction in this wilderness. We know it's going to be affliction, man. Right? It's going to be sifting to see if you're able to withstand it. That's why we always say, get your mind right for this thing, man. Because in the day of prosperity, as much fun as we had, some people would have forgot that. Guess what? A lot of our forefathers and foremothers didn't make it in this damn wilderness, man. A lot of them complained about being out here. Too many bugs, flies. What kind of water is this? This water tastes funny, right? All kind of things. You just don't know. In prosperity, there's a forgetful of your affliction, and that's what we don't want to have, man. We don't want to get back into here and be complacent. You got something?
Yeah. Because even when I touched on, man, I ain't gonna lie, that complaining spirit, that thing is heavy. That thing can spread like wildfire. Like I said, the water, the bugs, the heat, Christ. I'm gonna tell you, y'all have to think about these things, man. Christ ain't liking that complaining spirit, man. He don't like that, man. Because the thing is, as long as you get the necessities that you need, remember, we have to be proven, brothers and sisters, man. Most I hate that complaining spirit, man. He hate that thing, man. Brothers and sisters got to learn to put those things away, man. Put it away, man. It is what it is, man. We have to having a great time. So much of a great time. We had a brother Obadiah, almost 80 years old, out there playing. Giving it to a little bit of now, man. That was a glorious thing out there, man.
Give that word, huh?
You wish your brother could be had that brother A's doing the things that brother's doing right now, man. That's a blessing, man. Go ahead, Doc.
Read that again, man. You got something.
Yeah. And just like I said, I'm gonna tell you, even the complaining spirit, man, like I was talking about. Brothers and sisters don't think the complaining spirit is a part of, well, y'all should be doing this. That's part of the complaining spirit too.
That's right.
Brothers and sisters don't think it is, but it is. Well, why y'all not doing it this way? Brothers, stay in the spirit. We already done set the order of how things are gonna go, how things going. Well, it should be this way. You got a complaining spirit on you. Believe it or not. That's why brothers and sisters got to be able to check those things, man. Right? That's the same. What you think Moses had sent them so much stuff, and people still complain, right? Because they thinking it should be the way that they think it. You got to drop it. That's a complaining spirit, and it's also a controlling spirit.
Right.
Right? You got to be able to shape that thing, man. Go ahead.
Because let's read that one more time, man. Sirach 11-25.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 11 and verse 25. In the day of prosperity, there is a forgetfulness of affliction.
That's what we don't want to have right now coming out of this tabernacle. Read.
And in the day of affliction, there is no more remembrance of prosperity.
So this thing is twofold. It's both ways, right? Then when you do go do something, right? You, like I said, coming from tabernacle, man, been tired all week. Yeah, have a brother sister say, I shouldn't even took my hands out there, man. That it'll run across a brother mind, you just don't never know, man. Damn, man, I'm so tired of working. I shouldn't even went out there. I should have left Friday. I should have did 4 days. I should have did 1 day. Right? You got brothers that's doing these things, man. Right? You got brothers going out there 1 day, man. Can't control it, can't handle it. We can't have that spirit. We got to be on one accord, one mind. Yeah, eventually, we trying to be out there, 7 days if the Lord give us another Feast of Tabernacles, man, right?
That's right.
Because we don't know, man. The Lord might raise it with these prophecies that are unlocking, man, right? But shoot, doing 4 days compared to 7 days, compared to how many years? 40 years. Brothers better put that on their damn mind. Sisters better put that on their mind. We did 4 days. The children of Israel wandered in the wilderness 40 years, man.
Jump up to verse 4. Read that 40 years. I mean, Deuteronomy 8 and 4.
Let's get it.
Are you going back to Deuteronomy?
Yeah, we're going to Deuteronomy. For real. Let's go and get back to it now.
Verse 4.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 8 and verse 4.
Bring it out.
Thy raiment wax not old upon thee, neither did thy foot swell these 40 years.
Dang. That's tough, man, being in the wilderness. You see how the Lord carried them in the wilderness?
That's right.
It says, imagine we been in the wilderness for 40 years and your clothes never got old. Or your feet never swelled up or nothing. Right? Imagine that. In these bodies we got right now, man, we got there for 3 days, man. Your body broke down like double barrel shotgun. Body broke down 3 days. 40 years, like what I say, 40 years in the wilderness. Meaning what? They really had the Lord. I'm talking about he was on their side. He was with them all the way. Guess what? To get something like this, the Lord even gave us an inkling this year. It's about peace. You cannot get this right here without having peace. This come peace right here, right? Go ahead.
You got something right now?
Oh, good, yeah.
So, like I said, that's right, man. 40 years, foot not swelling, man. Raiment not changing, but you can't be in the wilderness 40 years and fear to think that that's gonna be working for you, right? It's not gonna be able to work for you like that, man. Those brothers and sisters were in complete order and understanding, right? Big stakes now, manna. Yeah. Well, what? Now we gonna open this one in a minute, but now ain't no water. Ain't no well water right now. You know they said that well water, something the coldest water, boy. Now ain't none of that. We gonna open this rock for you, though. Or somebody just rock, but we just gotta be able to be in complete order with what the Most High God gives us, right? A lot of people gonna be like, man, well, just think, man, have you ever just thought about what the hell? What was manna? What did it look like? Was it a substance of oatmeal or was it just like what was it that the Lord gave you? Some people looked at it like, yeah, right. Think about it, you got people today, man, I ain't eating that. It don't look good, it don't look right. It don't look, yeah. Yeah, that's right. It don't look good. I don't know, I ain't gonna like that. These are spirits that be upon us, man, that we got to make sure that we shake coming out of the wilderness. Drop down to verse 11, and again we'll read through.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 8 and verse 11. Beware that thou forget not the Lord thy God, in not keeping his commandments, and his judgments, and his statutes, which I command thee this day.
Read on.
Lest when thou eaten and art full, and has built God goodly houses, and dwell therein.
Lest when thou hast eaten and art full, right? We had a great time in the tabernacles, right? Eating and are full, read.
And when thy herds and thy flocks multiply, thy silver and thy gold is multiplied, and all that thou hast is multiplied.
Read on.
Then thy heart be lifted up.
Then thy what?
Then thy heart be lifted up.
This is why the Bible is telling you to beware, right? Beware, because you'll have your heart lifted up. Like I said, you're going to complacency, right? You're going to much pride, right? Pridefulness, right? Then your heart will be lifted up, read.
And thou forget the Lord thy God.
And what?
And thou forget the Lord thy God.
And that's where we don't want to be, man. That's right. That's what we're going into right now. They get back. Get back from tabernacles. You want to make sure that you got the Most High God on high right now, more than what you did before you went into the tabernacle. You should have that spirit on you. You should be having that spirit of understanding exactly what our forefathers and foremothers went into, man. Right? We talk about Benaniyah getting spiked on, you know what I'm saying, by older brothers and sisters. Even we spiked on them, I think, a couple times, man. But are you really understanding what the purpose was out there, right? That get back will be a problem for you if you don't have the right spirit of understanding. We don't.
Then thy heart be lifted up, and thou forget the Lord thy God, which brought thee forth out of the land of Egypt, read, from the house of bondage. You'll forget the Lord, man, that brought you out of the captivity, man. The same Lord that put you in the damn wilderness, man. Right? You'll forget him, man. Murmuring and complaining to make you forget your Lord. Not going to tabernacles or coming out of tabernacles in the right spirit. Have you forgetting your Lord? A lot of things, man. Right? Read on. Verse 15. Who led thee through that great and terrible wilderness? And what did the Lord do for us? Who led thee through that great and terrible wilderness? He led us through the wilderness, man. Like I said, for 40 years, man, the raiment's still good. No swollen feet or arms or legs or anything of that nature. No gout out there, right? No gout. You know, our brothers, our people, we some of the leaders in gout, man. Right. Gout-stricken people. Gout-stricken. None of that out there, man. We'll forget that it's the Lord that sent us in the wilderness only to lead us out of the wilderness, man, right? Read. Wherein were fiery serpents and scorpions and drought.
All these things will occur in the wilderness, man. These are all things that you have to look for and understand that our forefathers and mothers went through around this time, man. Scorpions, droughts, snakes, all these things in the wilderness, man. And then you got to understand at this time that guess what? These things are not in order right now. Snake will bite you. Yeah, scorpion will bite you. Yeah, get a hold of you. Right? We're waiting for the Lord to bring us back into that newness where everything will be in order, man. Right? But read on.
Where there was no water, who brought thee forth water out of the rock of flint.
You see that? Read on.
Verse 16, who fed thee in the wilderness with manna.
Fed us with what?
With manna.
No, they got big steaks.
With manna.
No, they got beef tips and rice.
With manna.
With manna, man, right? Read.
Which thy fathers knew not, that he might humble thee, and that he might prove thee.
You see that? You don't know what that manna was saying, but he did it to humble you and to prove you, man. Everything is a test, Israel, man. Every situation that will occur is a test. Coming out of the wilderness, coming out of tabernacles, it's a test right now, man. Right? Yeah, going into tabernacles, like Jerubbaal said, somebody had an argument going to tabernacle. Tabernacle day, some family, brothers and sisters, wives and husbands, it was an argument somewhere, right? These things are all tests, man. Read.
To do thee good at thy latter end.
Read on.
And thou say in thine heart, my power and the might of mine hand had gotten me this wealth.
Because that's what we'll say. We'll forget the Lord our God.
That's right.
And now we'll start thinking and relying on self. What we're doing with Proverbs 3 and 5, we'll start leaning on our own understanding. Oh, it wasn't the Lord that got us out of this tabernacle. Shoot. We got up, we undid our tents. We got the pop-up tent down, we put it in the bag, right? We put the fire out, right? I got the truck loaded, and I was gone, right? Hit the house, I was gone. Not knowing that the Lord was the one that gave you the capability to get out there in the first place, to put that damn pop-up tent up, or that tent that took the hour to get put up, right? That made the fire come up on the wood and allow so that we could have preached us by the fire, by the campfire, that it wasn't any rain or anything in the forecast for us to enjoy those moments, man.
That's right.
That's why the Lord said, beware, man. Go ahead.
But thou shalt remember the Lord thy God.
But we shall what?
But thou shalt remember the Lord thy God.
This is the time that we should be remembering our God the most right now, man. Right now, the most. We should be having God dear to us on our hearts and on our minds right now, the more than we ever did before, man. Right? Just coming off a memorial blowing the trumpets, the Day of Atonement, and Tabernacles, we should have the Lord on our minds, man, continually, more than ever more, man. Read.
Salaki. For it is he that giveth thee power to get wealth.
Read on.
That he may establish his covenant, which he sware unto thy fathers, as it is this day.
All praises, man. Let's go to this Exodus 15. That's it.
And that's and that's what brothers that's out there chasing a bag. We literally just read the scripture saying that what? The Most High God is the one that gives thee power to get wealth. You may come up on that bag, but the Most High God will quickly do what? Put holes in your pocket that you lose that thing in an instant. Like a lot of times, that's what brothers and sisters have forgotten in this wilderness, man. They've been puffed up because you got a good job, because you got a house, a couple of cars. Guess what? The Most High God is not giving you that understanding of knowing who you are. And he can take that thing in an instant, man. Our people tend to forget about that.
They do, man. That's real quick. Let's go back to Deuteronomy 8, y'all. We're going to read down to 19 and 20. Shalaka, family, Shalaka. Then we'll go to Exodus 15. Slotskis.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 8 and verse 19.
Bring it out.
And it shall be, if thou do at all, Salaki, and it shall be, if thou do at all forget the Lord thy God, and walk after other gods, and serve them, and worship them.
And serve them and worship them. Did you want?
Being that, like the Lord say, when you forget about that, when you forget about the Most High God, that means, guess what happened? Guess what you're doing? Serving another God. Guess what? People don't, a lot of Hebrews don't understand, or Hebrews don't understand that when you put yourself before the Lord, you just made yourself, you just serve yourself before the Lord. Right? Because a lot of times people don't say, y'all know how we pray, giving our honor and praise to the Most High God, but then you put yourself before Him. That's serving another damn God, man. But brothers and sisters fail to realize, right? But read that, Benaniyah.
And worship them. I testify against you this day.
The Lord said He gonna do what?
I testify against you this day.
So when you get that mindset, it's not putting the Lord first, guess what's gonna happen? The Lord gonna testify against you.
That's right.
And you'll start seeing things come, and it's gonna be a trickle down effect because you don't put yourself before Him, man. That's why when the Lord said, "Don't have no," this is one of the first commandments. Thou shouldn't put no God before them, not even your damn self. Right? This is what the Lord wants our mindset to think. To lean on the Lord for everything. Right? Because everything the Lord do, a lot of times, guess what? If it ain't us thinking that we doing it, and our mindset thinking we doing it, guess what? We think, well, the Lord taking too long for this. Like I said, God is a God of patience. He didn't just give them manna, He gave them manna and what else? He gave them quail too. Now the bread wasn't good enough. I'm gonna give y'all some meat to eat. Well, we thirsty. We just read that. It was droughts there. He had to hit the flint, the rock, to get them water. You think you ain't protected? Just ask Him for it. Stop going with me and just ask Him for it. Well, Lord, you said this. Right? Because He gonna make you make good. That's what He wants you to make Him make good too, Lord. That's what you think Moses was charging the Lord. Lord, you said this. Right?
I testify against you this day that ye shall surely perish.
This is how you perish. This is how you lose out. Verse 20.
As the nations which the Lord destroyed before your face.
Thinking about every nation that the Lord made our footstool. Why do you think so many brothers and sisters out to get off on these feast days to go to tabernacles and stuff? The Lord made these people our footstool so we can be. Just think about our foremothers. They was out in the damn. They had tabernacle every damn day. Was out there in the damn woods, man. They was out there in the hardcore bondage in the fields, right? But the Lord is great. You can just see it lifting off of us, but we got to keep on playing our role to get there, right? But read.
As the nations which the Lord destroyed before your face, so shall ye perish, because you would not be obedient to the voice of the Lord your God.
So we got to start. That's why Christ said what, Bruce? Based on this, Christ says what? Now we got to go back and reread it now because you can't they can't follow what they read.
Don't forget them. They follow after other God.
Well, what did He say? He said, because you would not be disobedient unto the voice of the Lord thy God. Christ says what? Christ says what? My sheep. Now y'all know it now, right? Now y'all know it. Christ says, my sheep hear my voice. They know me and they follow me, right? That's John 10:27. This is why we got to be obeying the voice, because the Lord said, my sheep hear my voice. Meaning, guess what? The Most High and Christ is on one accord. When Christ called the sheep, whatever He tell the sheep to do, that's what the sheep better damn do. Right? Go ahead,
Big gun on that. That's a great point that I made in 19 too, man. You gotta get your ass out of the way. I'm gonna say this again, man. You, me, every one of us gotta get your ass out of the way of what the Lord got going in this prophecy, man. Because you can get your ass rolled over, or you can get out of the way and stop playing. If you can't come into this tabernacle today with the same person and the same attitude and come out of the thing with the same person, the same attitude, and think that it's gonna be okay, man, you ain't learned nothing, man. You go have to get out of the way sometimes, man. We can't burn our feelings and emotions all the time, man. Sometimes we always say this. I was just saying last night in this class, you got to gird up your skirts. Brothers, you got to gird up your loins, man. Right? That woe is me, that wallowing in your sins, you can't do it, man. Because you might not have time to get up out of that wallowing stage. That thing might stick to you, and then it might be stuck on you. That might be what? One of the spirits that the Lord is sending out. All of a sudden, the wallowing spirit, brother and sister. Or I'm gonna send like you said, slothful or stuck. Right? We gotta make sure that we don't play these games coming out of this tabernacle, man. That get back out of the tabernacle, man, is real. Like I said, this ain't just something that we're playing around with. This is real life. This is what we have to do, man. And we're going to touch on that some more, so I'm glad I said that. Let's go to Exodus. You see that something? Let's go to Exodus 15 and 22. So coming back from the tabernacle and get back, we got to make sure that we look at our forefathers and foremothers and see where they failed at. See where they went off at and don't make them same mistakes, man. Right? This is what this class is about, man. Go ahead.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 15 and verse 22.
Bring it up.
So Moses brought Israel from the Red Sea. And they went out into the wilderness of Shur.
Read.
And they went 3 days in the wilderness and found no water.
Here we go, and found no water. Read.
And when they came to Marah, they could not drink of the waters of Marah, for they were bitter. Therefore the name of it was called. And the people heard.
And we drink. Don't you know people out there? I'm not saying it was, but don't you know people murmur against the leaders and oh man, we paid $100. What the hell? $100? Did you get $100 worth? Yeah, no, I ain't gonna say nothing, but it's all right. I already paid it. I guess I'm just gonna take that L. I guess we'll get it back on the Sabbath lunch or something.
Then the thing is, you probably have brothers and sisters that didn't even pay, still complain.
For real. That murmuring spirit, man. They murmured against Moses, right? Go ahead,
And on another note with that, like I said, it be dang, it's $100. Yeah. Some other camp charge 2, 3, 4. And you don't get half, you don't do half of what they, right? You just really paying for your spot, right? But brothers and sisters do that, and people, they'll pay their fees and forget their arms.
Yeah.
Like, damn, do you know you still got to, well, I got my fees in just so, don't you know we still got to, right? They be forgetting that one. It's something that we got to start paying attention to. Supposed to be for what? You lay up pressure for the kingdom of heaven. Kingdom of heaven? Is that what we doing? I don't know. Just maybe something must be off or something.
For real.
Go ahead.
Jump over to verse chapter 16.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 16, and verse 1. And they took their journey from Elim, and all the congregation of the children of Israel came unto the wilderness of sin.
The wilderness of sin. This is what brothers and sisters got to understand. Going out there in the tabernacles is a wilderness of sin. There have been a lot of things that we could have seen or that attacked us or approached us that would have been sin worthy, man. That would have been spirit to put up on you, man. Read on.
Which is between Elim and Sinai, on the 15th day of the second month, and Sinai, which is between Elim and Sinai, on the 15th day of the second month, after their departing out of the land of Egypt. And the whole congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moses and Aaron.
And that, here we go again. Who are they ultimately murmuring against? The Most High God, man. People love to put, they love to put something on somebody else. Yeah, you ain't gonna say that to your God. But you'll say to one of these other Negroes out here, look at his shoe. No, it ain't. I'm doing what my God told me to do. So what you gotta say now? Nigga, it's still you. Right? We know the games, and we know how we play these games sometimes, man. They murmured against Moses and Aaron. They would dare not go against their God and say that to their God, not understanding that that's who they really murmured and complaining about.
That's right.
Because Moses and Aaron are complete order with what the Father gave them, man. Right?
And the thing is, don't think that the Most High don't search the hearts and the reins of your hearts and your mind, or know your thoughts. He knows those things, man.
That's right. Read verse 3.
Verse 3, and the children of Israel said unto them, would to God we had died by the hand of the Lord in the land of Egypt, when we sat by the flesh pots, and when we did eat bread to the full. For ye have brought us forth into this wilderness, to kill this whole assembly with hunger.
With hunger. I'm going to tell y'all, man, y'all don't see, with hunger. Negroes out here in the wilderness, man, coming across all kind of things in the wilderness, man. And their mind so small and not on the right track, they ain't in the right spirit enough, they complaining about some damn food, man. Some damn water, man. That's what you got to get your mind right for, because the wilderness of sin, you complaining and worried about stuff that don't even matter right now. Why are we talking about this? That don't even matter right now. We trying to get our minds right and set for the wilderness if we're able to see a wilderness, man. For brothers and sisters, some of us, man. Go ahead, out.
Man, do y'all know how heavy verse 3 is? What brother know how heavy verse 3 is? Because what is the thought in verse 3? Any brother know? I'm going to read it again from the top. Verse 3, and the children of Israel said unto them, would to God we had died by the hand of the Lord in the land of Egypt, when we sat by the flesh pots, and when we did eat bread to the full. For ye have brought us forth into this wilderness to kill the whole assembly with hunger. What you got, Ehud?
They were reminiscing about being in captivity and preferring that over being free.
That's exactly right, Ahmed. Do you see how wicked that is? Our people rather to eat bread to the full in captivity than to be out there in the wilderness free with the Lord. Guess what? It's the same idea and thought today. Brothers and sisters rather have their Benz, their couple of cars, their house, their good paying job, than to be with the Most High, man.
That's right.
Than to be owners of the whole world and the people in it, man. Right. To know your nationality. To holidays, man.
That's right.
It's the same thing, man. That's a heavy precept. Go ahead,
It is. That's exactly right what you just said. They were reminiscing on captivity.
That's right.
They would rather be in captivity, eating the goodness that they had being slaves, rather than being free men and women walking around with their God.
Bring it up into today's time when you in that damn tabernacle, man. And some brothers and sisters be like, man, I can't wait to go home to get in my bed. I can't wait to this, that. Oh, man, we just out here. Like you just, like, it's woe is me because I got to go through this. Brother, instead of you thinking about how you can just have a good time and how you can serve the Lord, some people just worried to get back home.
That's right. Constantly being around like-minded people, to come back here to be around wicked people.
Come on. I'm gonna tell you, that's a hard adjustment.
It is.
That's an adjustment that has to be made. Being around like-minded brothers and sisters for 4, 5, 6, 7 days, coming back into this, I'll tell you, a nigga will be like, man, I quit. I quit. I ain't going back. I'm telling you. That's why we got to make the adjustments and the proper necessities that we need coming back from tabernacles, man. Have your mind ready. Like I said, verse 3, man. What Christians love to say, oh, giving unto the Lord the what? The head of my life. The head of my life. Is he really the head of your life, though? Are you really letting him lead in every aspect? Are you really taking yourself out of everything and putting him into it? Are you taking the cares of your life out and letting them give them to the Most High God? Really? Are you really doing that? That's what we got to think about, man, right?
Man, I'm going to tell y'all this. I'm going to give y'all some news flash on the parks, right? Y'all know it's a lot of, just in every major city, it's homeless people, right? Why are all the homeless people not at the parks? Think about this. And they got, what if, like, I'll say, I ain't never going back. Then you go to we the tabernacle now, I ain't never going back. What do you think they got park rangers doing? To ride around to make sure Negroes don't want to stay out there. That they always would need them. We always would need the other nations. What do you think they doing that for? They want to make sure that you can go back so you can get your mind wrapped up around what they got. The flesh pots, eat to the full. Everything I got convenient, everything convenient for you here. This is what they set it up for because they want to make sure them park rangers, guess what? And they ain't gonna miss. Them damn Edomites trained, guess what? If you so happen to get away 1 or 2 days, guess what they gonna be doing? They drive all around the park, make sure Negroes don't set petite somewhere. That's what they set up it for. They want your ass to go back. That's why they got these damn, they man, when they talk about Esau, they say, wiser than Daniel. This is a real thing, man.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Let's jump over to 18, chapter 18, and verse 27.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 18 and verse 27. And Moses let his father-in-law depart, and he went his way into his own land.
So like, let's go to, what did I want? Let's go to 32. So like, the family, 32. And we'll start at verse 1.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 32 and verse 1. And when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down out of the mountain, the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron and said unto him, Up, make us gods, which shall go before us. As for this Moses, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we wot not what is become of him.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, them 3-4 days, they were great. But let something have happened when we had to stay our ass and let something have happened when that road would have collapsed and we would have to stay our ass out there another week or 2. I mean, let's be real. Yeah, we running out of food.
Deer every day, damn possums everywhere, raccoons. I didn't tell nobody, but we saw about a 20-pack of raccoons in the wilderness the first day we got there, right behind my team. Talking about 20, I'm talking about they deep. All of them come out just looking like, what the hell y'all doing here? Yeah, those 4 days were cool. Let us would have had to stay out there another week or 2. Let something would have happened. Let's see how your mind would have been then. So you came back with tabernacles all across. We had a great time, yeah. Let that another week or 2 would have been on your ass. And you can't get to the stove. You can't get nowhere. We would have been having to ration food and things of that nature. We would have really seen it got down to it. That's what the children of Israel did. They started making God, hey man, forget this. Moses taking too long. Hey man, let's make us some calves. Let's do something. Right? It's all fun and games until we get down to the nitty-gritty, man.
I got to ask, man, that's a great question that I said. I want to ask the sister by a show of hands, what sister could have took that? By a show of hands, what sister could have endured an extra week after?
Week or 2.
Look at it. That goes to show you right there. That goes to show you, man. Got to get that spirit up, man.
What about a month? Well, we asked the Bruce, can y'all stay out there a month? And just keep it real with yourself.
Yeah.
What about a year?
If I had a choice.
Ain't no if I
Yeah, for real, no stipulations,
Yeah, ain't
man.
no
Just
if
yes
I
or
ain't
no.
got a choice.
Man, you got to have a mindset that's tough. Look here.
Countenance would have been from here to.
Man, what the hell we doing? Guess what? I'm going to tell you why. Because this is going into a person that comes out that does not count the damn cost.
That's right.
If you're not calculating what's to be the next move, I'm gonna show you how easy it is for the eat out there. If we all stayed in there we had to stay there for a year and we couldn't leave. Wherever we slept at, guess what? Anybody would try to kill any animal by where we slept at, your ass would be put out the damn camp.
That's
Why?
right.
Why would we put them out the camp? No. Because guess what? If you kill an animal around the campsite, guess what's gonna happen? they'll never come back around, and you'll have to go all around trying to get them. You go to the farthest point and go kill to push the animals towards you.
That's right.
That's why people don't have a mindset to think about what will happen you got to count the cost. Don't just sit up here and look and not see you got to have a vision for things. Right? A prophet without a vision will shoot a press. That's why when I was asking the question, you got to be thinking. Don't just sit up here and think. Right? Go ahead,
Because I'm going to tell you, that thing is heavy. If sisters that weren't able to raise their hand during that time, then what about Jacob's trouble? Because that'll drag out a lot longer than that, maybe. There's some things that sisters got to get their mind ready, right, man? All praise, sisters was honest. But now, hey, you start to correct those things, man, and get on that mindset.
That's right. Big con on that. Let's go to Baruch chapter 2 and 30 right quick.
While we going there, you got to think, like I read in Exodus chapter 32, verse 1, how the people wanted the asked Aaron to build a golden calf. Their mind had to be set on that before they did it.
That's right.
Right? Their mind literally had to be set on there before they did it. Guess what? Guess who else mind had to be set on that? Aaron. Aaron's mind fell too. Because this was like, damn, what the hell Moses at? Moses at?
Because that's not true. That's not true belief and faith. They didn't have true faith and dedication to this thing. You gotta have true faith, man. Like I said, they've been said, hey, we ain't gonna wait too long. We're gonna give Moses we're gonna give us that about 2-3 days, bro. Look, 3 days, we don't see Moses, bro. You know what we're doing. Shoot, I'm with you, Aaron. Shoot, let's get it. As long as we agree. Right? That ain't true faith, man.
I'm going to tell you, that's great points that Ox is bringing up, because the thing is, what if, Lord forbid, what if a captain fall? What brother would be able to stand up in his place to, guess what, lead and push forward? Or are you going to succumb to sin, basically? That's something for brothers and sisters to meditate on, man. This thing is heavy.
Because Baruch chapter 2, verse 30.
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 2 and verse 30. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people.
We got to understand, the scriptures are written 4 times for our learning. We are a stiff-necked group of people, man. That's right. And it's high time that we understand who the hell we are. Right? Don't be trying to lie and try to, you can lie to somebody else, but the Lord knows, man, right? Read.
But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves.
And that's what we are doing in our land of captivity. We're going out, rehearsing these righteous acts to remember ourselves. Do y'all understand that is heavy? Tabernacle is to remember who you are. Passover is to remember who you are, the kind of people that you are. Dedication is to remember who you are. It's to get back into the groove of who you are, who you really are. This is what tabernacle is about. In their captivity, they will remember who they are. You will remember the type of people that you are. There's some of our people are stiff-necked and complainers and murmurers. And then some of our people on go, and some of our people will have to stand up and have the spirit of Moses on them, man.
That's right.
And then some of our people will have to stand up and have the spirit of Joshua and Caleb to keep the charge going, right? To get us into the promised land, man. Some people have to have the spirit of Nehemiah to damn put hands on Negroes. They don't want to get their act together. Knowing that we can't let that trickle down in this nation any longer, man. It's to remember who you are. Go ahead.
What captivity was Baruch in, though? Huh? Verse 30 again from the top. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. That's how we know brothers and Israelites, man. You know that thing. Know that thing, boy. Where he at? Abraham?
Who's brought in captivity?
Who?
Babylon.
Brothers would know that if they would just listen and write it down in their book, man.
For
We
real.
know that it's a stiff-necked people, man.
Still.
For real, man.
Go ahead.
Keep going.
Verse 31, and shall know that I am the Lord their God, for I will give them in heart and ears to hear.
So that's what we are looking for. Coming out of the tabernacle, we are looking for the ears and the heart, with the tongue of the learned, basically, right? According to Isaiah 54. The tongue of the learned and the tongue of and the learned ear to be able to deal with this wicked kingdom right now, man, right? Coming out of the tabernacle, trying to have that right spirit to come back into this thing. Read.
And they shall praise me in the land of their captivity, and think upon my name.
And that's what it's about, man. Praising the Lord. Hallelujah for a tabernacle, for another opportunity to rehearse righteous rehearsals, man. For another opportunity to see a great Sabbath today, Shabbat, man. We got to praise our Lord for these things, man. Some people didn't see the Shabbat today. Some brothers and sisters didn't get to go to tabernacles, man. That's right. Some brothers and sisters didn't get to throw up those righteous rehearsals, man, to get prepared for the true wilderness, man. We got to praise the Most High God every day we get breath, man. Read.
Verse 33, and return from their stiff neck and from their wicked deeds, for they shall remember the way of their fathers, which sinned before the Lord.
That's what it's about, man. Remembering the ways of our Father and their wrongdoings, right? You remember the ways of your forefathers. The good you keep, the bad you throw away with the bathwater, right? The baby in the bathwater. You want to throw away those wicked deeds and remember where our forefathers went off. That's why this first introduction of the class is going into our forefathers of old and where they went off in. So that you can remember those things and would not make those same mistakes as well. That get back coming from tabernacle is real, man. We don't want to come in here and be in the same spirit that we was in before tabernacle, the same spirit we was in before more blowing the trumpet, the same spirit we was in before atonement. Where are you learning? Where are you growing? Where's your growth? Right? So this is heavy coming out, man. Let's go to Joshua chapter 5. We're gonna get some more on this, man. You get there, you can read that. Start at verse 1, my bad.
This is the book of Joshua, chapter 5 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
And it came to pass, when all the kings of the Amorites, which were on the side of Jordan, westward, and all the kings of the Canaanites, which were by the sea, heard that the Lord had dried up the waters of Jordan from before the children of Israel, until we were passed over, and their heart melted. Neither was there spirit in them anymore, because of the children of Israel.
So, you know, Joshua led us into the promised land. The Lord dried up the Jordan River so that we can cross over, man, and come into our land, right? Read.
Verse 2, at that time the Lord said unto Joshua, make these sharp knives, and circumcise again the children of Israel the second time.
And circumcise the children of Israel again the second time. What is circumcision going into, brothers and sisters? Any brother? Give me what is circumcision going into? Huh? What are you doing when you circumcise yourself? I'm looking for a word. Convert, what's another word? That's a great word. When we came out of the wilderness, the Most High commanded Joshua to circumcise the children of Israel again. Remember, we got circumcised the first time in the wilderness. But everybody didn't get circumcised because we was in the wilderness 40 years. So that nation had to die out. But now, coming out of the wilderness, we should be changing, man. Like I said, you can't come out of the wilderness and have that same personality, that same person on you, man. That's not what we are trying to do. The Most High God told Joshua to circumcise them again, to change them. What is circumcision going into? Changing your what? your heart, your ways, right? Let's go to Deuteronomy. Hold your precept. Deuteronomy 10. And 16.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 10 and verse 16.
Bring it out.
Circumcise therefore the foreskin of your heart.
So even in the Old Testament, it was understood for the children of Israel to circumcise the foreskin of their heart, right? Not going into the physical aspect of circumcision of men, but actually changing your ways, right? Converting back to your nationality, changing your ways. When we came out of the wilderness, man, the Most High God made them circumcise the children of Israel to change their ways again, man. It's a new generation, right? We're going to get this thing right. It's a new time. It's timing, right? The Lord dried up the river for us to have a Feast of Tabernacles this year, right? He made it possible for us to get out there. Now he's saying when you get back, he's telling the brothers, charge them and circumcise them again. Make sure that they don't come out of this tabernacle the same person that they were before they went into it. Make sure that they are changed. Make sure that they are told properly. Make sure that they kept memorial blowing the trumpet properly. Make sure that they are growing. This is what we should be doing, man. In the tabernacles, we should be growing, man. We should be charging brothers and sisters right now to circumcise their hearts, and whatever they were before, that they are not the same now. That they are better, right? Read that again now.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 10 and verse 16. Circumcise therefore the foreskin of your heart, and be no more stiff-necked.
And this is how you know it's changed. Be no more stiff-necked. Don't be like our forefathers, man. Came out of the wilderness murmuring and complaining, man. Did wickedness, man. Had their hearts not right, man. Right? Coming out, getting back out of the wilderness, we want to make sure that we are circumcising our lives, man. Getting better and better for the Most High God. To be vessels chosen, man. We just pray that we are a vessel that the Lord can use in the day of that time, in the day of that trouble that's going to occur for the nation, for some nations, man, right? We want to make sure that we circumcise ourselves, our hearts, changing our minds, man. Let's go back to Joshua. You read verse 2. Go read.
This is the book of Joshua, chapter 5 and verse 2. At that time, the Lord said unto Joshua, make thee sharp knives, and circumcise again the children of Israel the second time.
Hold on. Brothers, sisters, brothers. So did he literally, is this a literal, like Ox is going into, is this a literal circumcise? Do the Lord command us to sharpen, to circumcise our people 2 times? We're gonna mess around. We gonna the whole bunch of brothers walking around, they ain't got the top on it no more, right? Right? So is this a literal circumcision? Huh?
Yeah, for the second generation. That's kill off.
This part of it, but it's just he said the second time, so that means they got it once already. So that's not the second generation because they didn't had it once already. This is the second time. If it was the second generation, didn't say the first time, right?
So it don't mean that. But it means circumcision.
It means spiritual circumcision. This is a spiritual circumcision. This is all brothers say no. Everybody all over everywhere. No, it's a spiritual circumcision, brother. Right? The same thing we get right now, what? Bring it to today. This is a spiritual circumcision. Why do you think we circumcise our foreskin right now and it's true? Right? Go ahead, huh?
Big con on that, man. Read on.
Verse 4. Verse 3. And Joshua made them sharp knives, and circumcised the children of Israel at the heel of their foreskin.
Read on.
And this is the cause why Joshua did circumcise.
This is the cause, read.
All the people that came out of Egypt that were males, even all the men of war, died in the wilderness by the way after they came out of Egypt.
So the Lord promised that a lot of those brothers wouldn't make it to see the promised land because it was a wicked generation. So a lot of them died in the wilderness. Men of war, man. Valiant men, right? Read.
Verse 5. Now all the people that came out were circumcised, but all the people that were born in the wilderness by the way as they came forth out of Egypt, them they had not circumcised.
Because you see that now we're going into generations, man. This is 40 years, right? So those that were born in the wilderness were not circumcised yet, right? Read.
Verse 6. For the children of Israel walked 40 years in the wilderness till all the people that were men of war, which came out of Egypt, were consumed, because they obeyed not the voice of the Lord.
Read on.
Unto whom the Lord sware that he would not show them the land, which the Lord sware unto their fathers that he would give us, a land that floweth with milk and honey.
So we got to understand that the Lord will swear by you not seeing that land, man. That eternal salvation that we're looking for, the everlasting salvation, if we don't circumcise our hearts and get our minds right and change into who the Lord wants us to be, then the Lord will do the same thing, man. Cut us off in that wilderness, man. In the wilderness of what he called it, the wilderness of sin, right? We got to make sure that we get home with these and understand exactly what's going on. We got to change coming out of the wilderness, man. We got to make sure that we are better than what we were than when we went into the wilderness, man. Y'all understand that? Make sure that your walk in this truth is better coming out of the truth, coming out of the wilderness, man. Understanding, because what it does, it should put you in understanding of what our forefathers did, man. This was a heavy time in Israel, man. For the children of Israel to go into the wilderness, man, right? Fleeing from persecution, man, right? The Lord showing great wonders and works and acts. This is great faith that we had to show the Most High God, bringing it up to today, right? Coming out of the wilderness, we have to have great faith and what untimely faith to believe and understand that the Lord is going to bring us out of this again, man, right? Read on.
Let me get a precept real quick.
Go ahead.
Even like Ak is touching on, like I say, this is, even with the book of Deuteronomy, any brother know what the book of Deuteronomy means?
Second law.
Say it again, Ak.
Second law.
Second law. Because what? Our people have to receive the law again.
Right.
This is what this is all about even now. We had the law, but now we lost it, so now we're receiving it again in these last days.
Right.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1 and verse 38. It says, but Joshua, the son of Nun, which standeth before thee, he shall go in thither, encourage him, for he shall cause Israel to inherit it. Verse 39, moreover, your little ones, which he said should not be a prey, and your children, which in that day had no knowledge between good and evil, they shall go in thither, and unto them will I give it, and they shall possess it. So we see, even during this time, Most High had already had it set up to where he was going to kill off that generation. And then do what? Raise up another generation. This is what Ak is going into. Go ahead, Ak.
That's right. That's right. Let's go back. Let's read verse 6.
This is the book of Joshua, chapter 5 and verse 6. For the children of Israel walked 40 years in the wilderness, till all the people that were men of war came out of Egypt, were consumed, because they obeyed not the voice of the Lord, unto whom the Lord sware that he would not show them the land, which the Lord sware unto their fathers, that he will give us a land that floweth with milk and honey.
And that's what the Lord swore. He swore to us salvation, man, everlasting salvation. We got to make sure that we home in these things. But we not going to get that if we don't circumcise ourselves and change back to the Most High God law. Right. Each and every year, you should be getting better and better. What you say? Betterer and betterer. Each and every year, you should be getting better and better in this walk. Your walk should be easier and easier as the high holy days progress and proceed, as your Sabbath in, Sabbath out, Shabbat in, Shabbat out, day for day. We should be getting better, man. I don't know if brothers and sisters understand that, man. You should be growing on a daily basis, man. From Passover to Feast of Weeks to Tabernacle, man, you should be growing in that. You got to look at this thing, man. We should be growing, and we're circumcising ourselves, coming back to the laws more and more, right? Drop down to verse 9.
Verse 9, and the Lord said unto Joshua, this day have I rolled away the reproach of Egypt.
He did what?
Have rolled away the reproach of Egypt.
So like the Most High is saying, man, he's giving us, breaking down with the reproach of Egypt going into what? Bondage, man, showing us that we are no longer bonded in our what? In our mind, remember. Circumcision is what?
Right.
It's mind, it's changing your mind.
That's right.
Now the Lord said, this day, Joshua, I gave y'all the reproach to take away the bondage in your mind. You are no longer bounded to the ways of the Gentiles. Now we understand the Esau's tactics, right? And their tricks. What he say, I lifted up their skirt. Now we're able to see it. And this is what we want to do more and more each and every year, is to understand more and more. Right? Last year, you probably didn't understand that the dyes in the water, like the colors and the dyes in the water, they produce cancer, right? This year you understand that now, right? You probably didn't understand last year that gelatin inside everything had pork in it. This year now you have an understanding of that. You are now circumcising yourself year by year, day by day, month by month, week by week, high holy day to high holy day, man. This is the understanding that we gotta have, right? And he said, I took that reproach from you, but you have to be in these laws, statutes, and commandments and be in the right spirit for the Lord to take that reproach away from your mind. Y'all got something? Oh. Let's go to Romans, man, chapter 10. So that first part of the give back, man, was to give back what?
From the tabernacle,
give back
to what?
Our regular programming, keeping the commandments, growing, being better, understanding our forefathers and where they failed, and for us not to follow those same predicaments, right? Taking away the stumbling block. That's what this first give back is about, man. To give back from tabernacle. Romans chapter 10. Start at verse 1.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 10 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
Brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to God for Israel is that they might be saved.
So we already know, brethren, man, this is our hearts. This is our desire.
That's right.
This is the whole matter of classes, of righteous rehearsals, of circumcising our minds. Is that what Israel might be saved, man? This is the main cause of what we do, Israel. And if this is not your main cause, then you need to yourself. You need to reevaluate your walk in this truth. This should be the main cause for all of Israel, man. Right? Read that again.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 10 and verse 1. Brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to God for Israel is that they might be saved.
That they might be saved, man. That's what our desire in our hearts is, man. Read.
Verse 2, for I bear them record that they have a zeal of God, but not according to knowledge.
Because a lot of our brothers, even in the truth, you know, for our newcomer brothers and sisters, man, they have a zeal of God, right? Even out there in the world, some of these Christians and these apologetics, they have a zeal of God, but not according to the knowledge exactly what we have to be doing, man.
That's right.
Right? And they'll let prophecy go by them and forego them, and they'll be lost in the sauce. Because now you gotta understand that the give back now is prophecy. That everything that is lined up, is set up for us, it's already predestined for the children of Israel. Right? That problem that you're going through, that spirit that's on you, that you're trying to get off you, that was already planned, man. It was planned to see how you was gonna handle it. To see when you're gonna be able to learn from it, to gain from it, right? Read on.
Verse 3, for they being ignorant of God's righteousness, and going about to establish their own righteousness, have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of God.
This is what a lot of our brothers and sisters do.
That's right.
Verse 3. They being ignorant of God's righteousness. See, they don't understand God's will, God's righteousness. They establish their own righteousness. Got partners and people every day. Man, why don't y'all just go out there and just start knocking out each other? Yeah, man, stop it. That is not playing prophecy. That's your own prophecy. And that's gonna get your ass in your own little casket. Right? For naught. It's gonna be for naught. I can say all day, all they gotta do is just cut your lights and your water off, man. And you out of there, man. Right? So we want to understand and make sure that we know that a lot of people is going by establishing their own righteousness. But righteousness comes by the children of Israel by what? What we talk about in the class? Change. What's the name of the class? It's a word in the class. By what? Prophecy. Give back comes to the children of Israel by prophecy. It's already written that we're gonna get the give back, man. It's just that we gotta follow in line with the prophecy. You can't go out of the line of the prophecy. You can't. That's what verse 3 is telling you. Read it one more time.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 10 and verse 3. For they being ignorant of God's righteousness and going about to establish their own righteousness, have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of God.
They haven't submitted themselves to the righteousness of God, man. The give back for the children of Israel is playing prophecy.
That's right.
It's prophecy. And if you try to go outside of that notion, well, you're going to have a big problem, man. Right? Let's jump over to Romans chapter 1. Got so many people that just, yeah, man, we're going to go and start this militia, black militia. Yeah, stop it, man. Stop it. It's not going to work, man. We know how we are going to handle the children, the heathen of the world.
And like I say, brothers, don't even count the cost on that. Who you buy your bullets from?
That's right.
You know who you get your guns from. That's not even a good strategic plan. How you gonna fight and still keep your food, your water, your resources? That's the first thing in tactical strategies is cut off supplies.
That's right. Because we know our weapons of warfare are what? They are not carnal. So when you try to go outside that prophecy, it's going to be a problem. What else do we know? That the give back is not even ours. The give back ain't even yours. Christ said you're going to tread the wine press alone. You ain't getting it. Ezekiel 25:14 said you're going to give us a little bit.
That's right.
Right? Let me see that one out. You can give us a little bit, but that give back ain't even yours. That's the Most High God's give back, man. He got Christ on that leash, man. Ready to get that give back for you. But we try to do things outside of the order and expect and then be wondering, well, why is this thus?
That's right.
Why is this thus? You know why this is thus? Because you ain't did properly what the Most High God wanted you to do. You didn't get in line and in order with the prophecy that the Most High God gave you. You can't go outside the box and wonder why we ain't in the box. You ain't in the box because you went outside it. Read this, Romans 1, and let's start at 18.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 1 and verse 18. For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men.
Read.
Who hold the truth in unrighteousness.
So the Most High God revealed this to us, man. How do we know? What did he tell us that he revealed this to us, man?
Yeah.
Read it again.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 1 and verse 18. For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men who hold the truth in unrighteousness.
Let's go to John right quick. Let's go to John 14, and we'll start at 15. It's revealed, man. It ain't hid. It ain't like you don't know that if you do something evil, that the evil is not gonna come upon you. That you're not gonna have to pay for your wrongdoing. That's right. It ain't like you don't know that. It's revealed to us, right? Read this, John, in 14 and 15.
This is the book of John, chapter 14 and verse 15. If ye love me, keep my commandments, read, and I will pray the Father, and keep you forever.
17 is important.
Even the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive, because it seeth him not, neither knoweth him. But ye know him, for he dwelleth with you and shall be in you.
But ye know him. A lot of these heathens don't know him.
That's right.
But you know him. It was given to us freely. Go to John 15. Jump over. But you know him. It wasn't something that the Lord hid from us, man. Going at 14.
This is the book of John, chapter 15 and verse 14.
Bring it out.
Ye are my friends, if ye do whatsoever I command you. Henceforth I call you not servants, for the servant knoweth not what his Lord doeth.
He said, I don't call you servant. The servant don't know what the Lord doeth, man. What he calls you, what? He called you a friend, man.
That's right.
Read.
But I have called you friends, for all things that I have heard of my Father, I have made known unto you.
It was given to us from heaven. It was given to us from Christ, man.
That's right.
The word was in us. The word is Christ. According to John 1, it was given to you to completely know and understand what to do and what not to do. Deuteronomy 11 and 26, I gave you blessings and I gave you curses. Right? Choose one. Right? Deuteronomy 30 and 19, choose life. It was given it to you from the beginning of time. You know. Right? We just had to come back into this thing, man.
That's right. Let me get a precept right quick, guys. Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30 and verse 11. Saying the same thing. These things are nigh unto us. Deuteronomy, chapter 30 and verse 11. For this commandment which I command thee this day is not hidden from thee, neither is it far off. It is not in heaven, that thou shouldest say, who shall go up for us to heaven and bring it unto us, that we may hear it and do it. Neither is it beyond the sea, that thou shouldest say, who shall go over the sea for us and bring it unto us, that we may hear it and do it. Verse 14 is the point. But the word is very nigh unto thee, in thy mouth and in thy heart, that thou mayest do it. So we see that the Most High God have always what? Given us the word. Because it's not hid from us. The Most High God literally, guess what? Brought these things down from the third heaven. So guess what? We can apply these things and meditate on these things.
That's a great precept too, man. Make sure y'all put that precept with Romans 1 and 18, man. That's a great precept. Let's go back to Romans. So if this thing ain't being hid from us, it ain't like we don't have understanding of what to do.
That's right.
Matter of fact, let's go to 2nd Edge. Y'all should already know. Where we going?
7:59.
2nd Edge.
7:59.
7:59? I'm a little earlier than that. I like that too, though. That's a great precept to go with Deuteronomy 30 and 19, and to go with it. But let's get both of them. Let's go to 7 and 21 first. That's right.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 7 and verse 21. For God had given straight commandments.
The Most High didn't alter it. He didn't have to make us go around like Deuteronomy 30 and 11 said. We ain't have to go search it out. We ain't have to go look for it. It was right there for us, man. Right? So he gave us straight commandments. Read.
To such as came, what they should do to live, even as they came, and what they should observe to avoid punishment.
He gave you straight commandments, man. What you should do to live, right, to have everlasting life, and what you should do to avoid the punishments, man, of sin, man. Right? It was freely given to us. That's why he called you a friend. Because he said, everything that the Father made known to me, I made known to you.
That's right.
You're not a servant. You tell a servant to go do something, they ain't got to ask you why. Well, I say, I slapped you. Right? But he called you a friend because he gave it known into you, man. Let's jump over to 59. I want to read that too. Let's get a precept, right?
This is the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 7 and verse 59. For this is the life whereof Moses spake unto the people while he lived, saying
what?
Choose thee life.
Saying choose life, right? Going into Deuteronomy 30 and 19. Read.
That thou mayest live.
That thou mayest live, man. Read.
Nevertheless, they believed not him.
Man, say, nevertheless. Here go that stiff-necked and hard-headed nation. They believe not him. Read.
Nor yet the prophets after him. No, nor me, which have spoken unto them.
So we gotta make sure that we take heed, man. That we take heed. The brothers, man, we got brothers, man, all in the four corners of the earth, man, putting out great understanding in classes, man. You got great teachers all around, man. You gotta take heed to that thing. That's right. Brothers and sisters, you can't make no excuse. Can't nobody sit up here and say, oh yeah, I never knew about it. If somebody can tell you today they never knew about it, it's 90% a lie. Because this truth is all over, man. And the main thing that people look at daily is that damn phone. And you on YouTube, it just go pop up. Something go pop up about Hebrew this, Israelite that, the true Jew. It's go pop up, man. So we can't be making no excuses any longer because the Lord said that he made it known to us. Let's go ahead to Romans 1. And read 19.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 1 and verse 19. Because that which may be known of God is manifest in them. For God has shown it unto them.
For God has showed it unto them, man. Who did he show it to us, man? Christ, right? That was made manifested to us, man. He showed us Christ, man. He visibly walked with some of our forefathers, man, right? Read.
Verse 20. For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen.
They are what?
Clearly seen.
They are clearly seen, man. Right? Read.
Being understood by the things that are made.
Being understood by the things that are made, man. Christ is visibly seen of us, man.
That's right.
We were made, man, but we clearly see this, man. Read.
Even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse.
Read that again.
Even his eternal power.
So that what?
And his Godhead, so that they are without excuse.
Ain't no excuses, man. It was made clearly known unto us, man. That's what the scriptures is showing you. You can't sit here and keep trying to make excuses. Nigga, I don't believe in Christ. Hey, you can't make excuses because it was clearly seen, man. Hamashiach was clearly seen, man, of the prophets, man. Right? You can't sit up here and make excuses on this thing. Read on. Did you have something?
Yeah, let me get that wisdom of Solomon.
Yes, sir. Let's get it. Spirit up.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13 and verse 1. I say, brothers in the spirit, brothers should, certain precepts should be standing out on brothers. Even like I can steady asking brothers. Sisters too, gotta be in the spirit, be lining these things up. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13 and verse 1. Surely vain are all men by nature, who are ignorant of God, and could not out of the good things that are seen know him that is. Neither by considering the works did they acknowledge the workmaster, but deemed either fire, or wind, or the swift air, or the circle of the stars, or the violent water, or the lights of heaven to be the gods which govern the earth, with whose beauty, if they being delighted, took them to be gods. Let them know how much better the Lord of them is. For the first author of beauty had created them. So we see that, guess what? We know that the Most High God exists by the things that we see. Even going into what Captain Yara is bringing out in the book of Romans, this is a precept for that. It says, verse 4, but if they were astonished at their power and virtue, let them understand by them how much mightier he is that made them. For by the greatness and beauty of the creatures, proportionably the maker of them is. So we see and we know these things by the Most High because we see them being made. That's point blank period. For agnostics or people that don't believe in the Most High, these people bugged out of their mind, man.
Right.
Go ahead.
It said the maker of them is seen.
For real.
Hey, what? Hey, nah, you got it, brother. We ain't saying about you forget to comb your beard this morning. Nah, bless me, child. Yeah, that's why we definitely had to put that on there, man. Because it said the maker of him is seen. That's right, man. Bless me, child. Let's go back to Romans though and read 21. So there are no excuses, right? We know that Christ visibly walked the earth, man, that he was here put on for us, man, right? And it said how much more the maker is seen. Knowing this, that you know your God is real, man. Somebody can't sit up here and say, you man, don't believe in God. What the scripture calls you? A fool. The fool is said in his heart. Man, I'm gonna tell you straight up, fool for you to say some things like that, man. When you see prophecies and everything, man, I'm gonna tell you, it's crazy, man. It's not a coincidence that everything that's going on in this Bible, the wars that are subject to be happening, how things are lining up, it's just, it's not a coincidence how these things are prophesied in the Bible, man. Right? And we're gonna get on to that a little later, man. But read on.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 1 and verse 21. Read. Because that when they knew God, they glorified him not as God.
They glorified him not as God. Right? We knew it. They knew it. They don't want to give our God the power, man. All the glory. Read.
Neither were thankful, but became vain in their imagination. And their foolish heart was darkened.
Read on.
Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools.
That's a lot of people right now, man. Professing to be wise, they became fools. That's right, man.
That's it. That is.
Go ahead.
Let's go to 2 Ezra right quick, chapter 9. Because there's a lot of people that do that, man. They get so much, and we see people in the truth that do this too. They get so much knowledge they think they don't need the Lord no more.
That's right.
That's a foolish man, man.
Or
a foolish woman too, right? Start verse 18 now.
This is the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 9 and verse 18.
Read.
And now when I prepared the world,
right,
which was not yet made.
So this is going into what we read in Romans chapter 1 and verse 20 and 21, right? Read.
Even for them to dwell in now that live.
Right, read.
No man spake against me.
So when the Lord said, when I was making the world, nobody can speak against me.
No, and nothing to say.
You ain't got nothing to say when I'm making everything. He ain't got to have your advice or nothing, right? But read.
Verse 19. For then everyone obeyed.
What did people do?
For then everyone obeyed.
Because everyone obeyed. Watch how I read down, or watch this read.
But now the manners of them.
Oh, but what?
But now the manners of them.
Hey, man, what's that song? Oh, but now.
But now, for real, right?
Read on that.
Which are created in this world.
And just the people that, think about the people that's in this world right now, right? And we know it's talking about our forefathers, but we got to bring it up today, right? Read.
That is made or corrupted by a perpetual seed.
By a perpetual seed, read.
And by a law which is unsearchable. Rid themselves.
They rid themselves. They making up all kind of diverse laws. They get into all different kind of doctrines. And that's what they put yourself so far away from the Lord. But watch what the Lord say, read.
Verse 20. So I considered the world.
So guess what the Lord said? He considered a man's heart going into the world. Guess what? When we look how men minds, how men think. So the Lord said, you know what? I'm gonna consider my people, right? Read.
And behold, there was peril because of the devices that will come into it.
What devices was going? It was going into our minds. It was going into our understanding, going into doctrine that was coming towards us, right?
Verse 21. And I saw and spared it great.
So the Lord said, I see my affliction, my people, and I see how the hell we went off. And the Lord said, I spared my people. Think about how that's a patient God that we get, right? Read.
And have kept me a grape of the cluster.
So the Lord said, out of all the people, the Lord said, I still kept me a grape of the cluster, right? Read.
And a plant of a great people.
This is the remnant, man. Verse 22 to point.
Verse 22, let the multitude perish then.
So guess what? Everybody don't want to choose the Lord. The Lord said, guess what? Let the multitude perish then. Because these people that became so wise, they got so many things, they above God's laws. The Lord said, let the multitude perish then. Man, read.
Which was born in vain.
Because they was born in vain. Read.
And let my grape be kept.
So guess what? Out of the cluster, the Lord said, let my grape be kept, meaning going into Israel. Read.
And my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect.
So the only way that this grape can be kept is how by what, brothers? It just said it.
Great labor.
It just said it right. What we say where we at? It just said it. What you got, Shamrock? By labor. You see that, man? God dang it. You made the little babies can stay on track, man. You grown-ups, man. I'm telling you. So what the Lord said we got to go back to babies? Because grown-ups will keep going everywhere else.
For out of the mouth of babes.
You got to stay with us. It's saying it clearly. It's by labor how we gonna be made perfect. Meaning what? Righteous acts. Us keeping the commandments. This is how we gonna be. This is how we gonna endure the fight. Labor. You don't labor, you're not gonna get it.
That's right.
Go ahead, huh?
Because on that, that's all prophecy, man, right? Coming to us fulfill this, man. But let's go back to Romans. Let's see, because it said everyone obeyed then. That's a great precept by Paul, man. He said, but now the manners of them which are created in this world, corrupted by perpetual seed, and the devices of this world. Let's see some of the devices. Let's read.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 1 and verse 22. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools.
For some of these devices, let's see.
And changed the glory of the uncorruptible God into an image made like to corruptible man.
Man, you see that? That's one device. What is that?
Caesar Borgia.
Caesar Borgia, man, at his finest, man. That's right. That's one device that corrupted people, right? At first, like I said, it was all good when I was making the world. Nobody had nothing to say. But now these wicked ass devices that y'all don't went into, now everybody got something to say, right? Read.
And to birds and four-footed beasts and creeping things.
Read on.
Wherefore God also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own heart, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves.
It's another wicked device, man. Read.
Who changed the truth of God into a lie, and worship and serve the creature more than the creator.
And that's exactly the opposite of second nature, man. Serving the creature more than the creator. That's what we did, man. Our wicked devices in this world has the children of Israel serving a creature more than the creator.
Right.
Even in Christianity, you don't hear Christians talk about God. All they talk about is Christ right now, right? These wicked devices have our people going off, man. And this is why they get back. It's not going to be feasible for them or good for them because they're not understanding what we're going into. Read on.
Verse 25. Who changed the truth of God into a lie, and worship and serve the creature more than the creator, who is blessed forever. Amen.
Read on.
For this cause God gave them up unto vile affection. For even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature.
See, these are some of those devices, man, that has our people thinking this way now, man. Right? These are the devices, man. I'm talking about, I don't know where I was the other day, man, but I'm just seeing, I'm talking about just bushes on top of bushes, man. And that's what they, there's bushes everywhere, man. I'm talking about, I don't know where I was, man. But I mean, I'm talking about, I just saw them back to back to back to back to back. I'm like, dang, man, these devices keep our people not knowing who their God is, not knowing the power of their God, man. And they definitely don't have them, occupied in prophecy, man, right? Because ain't no way in here that you're going to live that kind of lifestyle and think you're going to be involved in the prophecy. children of Israel. You understand what I'm saying? Ain't no way in hell you think you're going to go against the laws of the Most High God and think that you're going to be in the prophecy of the Lord coming back and saving us out of this wickedness, man. Him getting that get back, and you better stop playing. He'll get that get back for you. You're going to be part of the get back. Right? Jump down to verse 29.
It's the book of Romans, chapter 1 and verse 29. Being filled with all unrighteousness.
This is the reason, man. Because a lot of our people are filled with unrighteousness. The wicked devices of the world has filled our people with unrighteousness, man. Read.
Fornication, wickedness, covetousness,
Man.
Maliciousness,
man. I'm talking about this a bunch of malicious people out here, man.
That's right.
Youngsters, man. I'm talking about, man, it's crazy out here. Read.
Full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers.
There's a lot of people that are so deceitful in this world right now, man. They don't want you. They know. I'm gonna tell you, man. I get calls from people every Sabbath morning that know like hell what I'm gonna do, man. And I ain't gonna lie, that pisses me off, man. Because it's not like I'm not out here letting you know. You know what I do, man. Why are you calling me on Sabbath morning? Every damn Sabbath, man, I'll get calls, man. From people who don't give a damn about the laws of the Most High God. Man, that's deceitful as hell, man. You know I ain't finna indulge in nothing that you got going today. You know I ain't finna even sit up here and talk. Hey, come on, man, I'm not doing it. You know this. That pisses me off, I ain't gonna lie. Every Sabbath, man. But it's deceitfulness that a lot of people have, man. Because they know. They know what you're doing on Sabbath. Let me see if I can get this Negro out of the spirit. Let me see if I can talk and do some wicked. There's a lot of deceitfulness going on in this land, man. Read on.
Verse 30, backbiters, haters of God.
What are they?
Backbiters, haters of God.
They are haters of God, man. That's heavy as hell, man. Haters of God? Why are they haters of God? Because 9 times out of 10, they lifestyle don't line up with what the Most High God wants us to.
Right.
If you out here, if your ass is malicious, you out here got full of envy and murder, you out here killing, murdering, robbing, and jackboying, yeah, you gonna hate God. If you out here playing the alphabet game, yeah, you gonna hate God. Because you know that your life don't line up with what the Most High God wants of you, man. Read on.
Despiteful, proud, boasters,
read.
Inventors of evil things.
Read that again.
Inventors of evil things.
Man, our people are inventors of evil, man. But we invent some wicked stuff to do, man.
That's right.
Well, hey, man, let's I thought of an idea. Let's go do some crazy wicked stuff. Like, damn, ain't nobody never thought of doing nothing wicked like that. You know, we got the best brains, but we inventors of evil. You be like, damn, how did a Negro come up and think to do some mess like that, man? All right? It's the kind of people that this is what keeping our people from their God, though, man. And keeping them in this docile mind, not knowing about prophecy that's about to be fulfilling itself, man. They can't tell you a single thing about what's going on. Nobody in the Christian church talk about anything about prophecy, man. Right. Nobody in the Christian church, all they talk about is prosperity. This, remove that brother or sister from your life so you can receive your blessing. That's all they talking about. You ain't seeing none of them talk about no kind of prophecy inside this Bible, man. Read on.
Disobedient to parents, without understanding. Covenant breakers.
That's it, but without understanding. That's covenant breakers, man. Say, man, we are breaking covenant people, man. Each and every day that you go into sin, not doing the will of the Father, man, you are a covenant breaker, man. You don't want to go into that, man. Read.
Without natural affection. Implacable. Unmerciful.
Read 32.
Who, knowing the judgment of God.
This is the crazy part right here, man. Who, knowing the judgment of God. Man. Read.
That they which commit such things are worthy of death.
Knowing that the judgment of God could be death, man. The wages of sin is what? Yeah. We just got to talking about all things that are what? That are part of what? Sin worthy, right? They know the power of God, man. They know that these things can end up death, man. Read.
not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them.
And they have pleasure in doing these wicked deeds, man. They don't have pleasure in the righteous acts, man. The righteous rehearsals. They got pleasure in finna do Halloween at church.
Right.
They got pleasure in finna do Thanksgiving. They got pleasure in Christmas, man.
Think about it. Even when I just brought a Halloween at church.
That's crazy, man.
You got ghouls and goblins and skulls hanged up in the church. Think about it, man. Let that marinate, man. Let that sizzle on your brain, man. That's wicked as hell. That thing is wicked, man.
That's wicked. That is damn wicked, man. Just thinking about that, man. Romans 8.
So you up in our fellowshipping with Casper the Friendly Ghost, man.
And Casper ain't so friendly in this one, boy. Yeah, Casper ain't too friendly in this one. Romans 8:28. Yeah, for real. But we already know that this world was what? Predestined. Right? We already know this thing, man. But like I said, they know it. They know the power. We know it. So why would you go back? Why would you backslide and go back knowing the power of God, knowing the terror of God, man? What is that? Philippians, knowing the terror of God, we persuade. Man, say, why would you go back into that thing, man? Romans 8:28.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 8 and verse 28. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God.
To them that love God. Read.
To them who are the called according to his purpose.
Who is the call? What is the precept of the call, brother? Let me get you, twin. Let me see. Let me get you in here.
You got me?
I got you. I called you.
Isaiah 48:12.
All praise to the called, man.
That's right.
Make sure y'all don't got that. You write that down. That is a called precept, man. Right? It says, "Who are the called according to his purpose." That's the heaviest part of that precept. His purpose. Prophecy, get back, is planned prophecy. It's of whose purpose? His purpose. We gonna get back the way that the Lord wants us to get back. We ain't going out there with choppers and AKs and Dracos. Right? We ain't going out there like that. We going out there, the only choppers and Dracos we going out there is what? Right? That's the only thing we're going out there with, a fofo, with whatever you want to call your Bible. It's a fofo, you got a fofo, it's a Bible. You got the AR, what you got?
Chopping down spears with the scripture, right?
What you got, Chopper. What you got, twin? You got the chopper too? Damn, bro's got some choppers. What you got, Renard? Renard got the AR, right? I got the Draco with me. Big Draco. When he say, y'all know what's going on. Y'all know what's going on. This is the only thing we going out there with, man. Right? Because it's playing prophecy. He told us that our weapons of warfare are not carnal, man. Right? So we got to go in line with the prophecy so that we can be part of the prophecy. Think about it. Prophecy is fulfilling itself daily. If you go outside the prophecy, how can you be fulfilled inside the prophecy? Do you understand that? You see the Bible being prophesied and being prophesied being unlocked daily. So if you go outside of the prophecy, how can you be part of the prophecy that's about to fulfill itself? You can't do it. Right? Read 28 again.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 8 and verse 28. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God.
To them that love God. Keep the commandments, read.
To them who are the called according to his purpose.
According to his purpose, 29.
For whom he did foreknow.
For whom he did what?
Foreknow.
For whom he did foreknow. This is planned prophecy, man. We were foreknown, Israel. You might not have known it, but now the scriptures show you that you, in fact, indeed, were foreknown, man. It was foreknown for you to be up in here trying to change and trying to circumcise your heart all over again. Read.
He also did predestinate.
He did what?
He also did predestinate.
Both of those words, foreknow, predestinate. Those are both words that deal with planned prophecy, man. Right. Right? It was foreknown and predestined of you to be in this class today. Read.
to be conformed to the image of his son.
Man, that's heavy, man. To be conformed. Well, that's a heavy precept, man. To the image of his son. The image of his son. That means his son got his own damn image. I mean that they are different entities, man. To be conformed, to be coming back to who exactly your king look like, man. Your king ain't no something so-called Edomite, man. With doggy stringy hair, man. He's talking about he love everybody, man. That's not your king, man.
Now you know what's crazy? Me and the Bruce looking on Thursday night, right? We're sitting down from the school. They got a big ass teacher brochure sign right there.
Yeah.
It does it.
I trust you. Yeah, Brother Jonathan told him.
Who said
Loading
that?
up the truck.
I ain't even know.
Well, it'd be so funny if the Lord just rain some hellfire down, man, in one spot.
Big lightning strike on that.
I'm talking about for a big lightning strike, man. Out of all the places, man, y'all just think I'd be in the metro place here. Out of all the places, why the hell would you put that mug right there?
In the heart of Oak Cliff.
For real.
You know, that's a device.
That is.
That's another one of those devices, like in 2 Timothy chapter 9, man. Churches on every corner, those are devices. Set your brochure on big billboards right in front of your school. Yeah, that's a device. Right? You thought about going to the Hebrew and you seen set your brochure. Yeah, I ain't going on there. I ain't going on there. Just change my mind. Right? For real. Well, the Bible tells me so. Read 29 again.
Verse 29, for whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his son.
So we are being conformed back into our nationality, into whom we serve, right? Read.
That he might be the firstborn among many brethren.
Read on.
Moreover, whom he did predestinate,
Read.
them he also called.
He did what?
Them he also called.
He called us, man, to come into this prophecy, man, right? We are a part of prophecy. We're going to be, like what they say, we're going to be a part of history, man. Your name going to be in the books as being a part of history, man, if you stay the course, man. You keep the faith. Right? Read.
And whom he called, them he also justified. And whom he justified, them he also glorified.
So you see that? We are being justified and glorified by the Most High God. Our actions are being justified. Guess what? Feast of Tabernacle, those are actions that are justified by the Most High God. Because he showed us in the book what we're supposed to be doing. Keeping Sabbath in, Sabbath out, those are justifiable actions, man. Right? The world can't see it. The world can't perceive it. Us that pork off our fork, not dining with the swine, those are justifiable actions that the Most High God is pleased with now. The world can't see it because they got some devices on them too much.